So how do you fill up your calendar from your DMs? This is such an important skill to know because this is the skill that will make you be able to fill up your calendar no matter if you have a big following, a small following, or whatever you have. This is the first skill to master if you want to never be broke, if you want to make sure you always have calls in your calendar and you always get clients. You need to master this. Why? Because conversion happens in conversation. No matter where your business is and how far you come, it is always so that someone becomes a client due to conversation. Now, that conversation can look a little bit different, but the easiest and the fastest form for conversations is what happens between you and the other person inside your DMs. We prefer DMs because it is the platform or the way of communicating that feels closest to having someone in front of you face to face and having a conversation. When you do it in an email, and I really love email marketing, when you do it in an email though, it is easier to hide. You don't get the same response rate. You don't get the same open rate. It is so different when you have people in DMs. And not to mention, if you try to call people, in the old days, we did the cold calling. Try and call people to say today and see if people even answer the phone. I know I don't. And honestly, do you want to cold call people? No, I figured you don't want that. Me neither. So what we can do that is way faster, way easier is just utilizing our DMs. How do we get sales calls? Well, I know a lot of people have this idea that DMs or chatting is something that sucks because they themselves had people jumping straight into the DM and just offering them a call or program or something else. And they got like kind of the yuck feeling. It's too salesy, it's too much, it's repelling. And you block these people and you don't want to be that person. I get that. Of course you don't want to be that person. But the thing is, you don't have to. You can definitely be in your DMs without ever being salesy, but being a service-minded person, serving people. Now, I'm going to show you here how to do, and I also want you to know down below, you can download absolutely for free 2 different things. A deeper training on how to use your DMs and also the free conversation starters we can always use if we don't know how to start our conversation. So go down there, get them for free. Now let's start. When we are in the DMs, our job is to make sure that we are moving people forward. What we want to do is we want to where do we want them to go? Either we want to get them to either a sales call, or you need to get them an offer doc if you want to sell the program directly inside the DMs. If you're rather new, I would definitely go for booking them in on a sales call so you can handle that on a sales call. And you might be somewhere or you have a very low price point so you can do it directly inside the DM. But before we can get there, what needs to happen is that you need to have a hot person, cold people who you present it to. It's just not working. And this is the thing that goes wrong for so many setters that you probably have inside your DMs. They start by either offering the program or the sales call while you're still cold, just jumping in there, and the first message you get is directly trying to sell you something. The thing is, a lot of people want to move people as fast as possible to a sales call or to just buy their program. The problem with that is, I understand that you, as the person who wants to sell something, you are stuck in, I need them to buy, I need people to book sales calls, or I want them to book a sales call, I want them to buy my thing. And then you get a little bit too eager and think that's what you should be focusing on. And that's your big mistake in DM setting. So the faster you try, if you try to take someone from cold and directly to book in, what will happen is you immediately find something that we call bias resistance. And a bias resistance is what happens when someone is feeling that you're too pushy, you're too fast, and they put up their hand and you lose rapport with them. They don't trust you anymore. And the thing is, once rapport is broken, it takes time to build it up. So the first thing to think about is literally slow it down a bit, slow it down a notch. If you want to get over here as fast as possible, the thing is, you want to slow down. Slow down will make it move faster. So, what are the stages to go through? Stage number 1 is connect. You need to have connection and get rapport. And that means that in the beginning of a DM, your job is not to sell, present, or ask any qualifying questions whatsoever. You have one job, and that is to get response. Once you start having this, we go a little bit deeper. And now we can go into the second phase once we have response and they're actually communicating back, because we do not want to have a monologue. It's not about see this thing, do this thing, want this thing. If they never answer you, they're ice cold. You need people to start answering you, and that's your first focus. Once you start having them following along with you, then we can go to the next phase, and that is uncover their needs. And you can do this different ways. You can ask questions about like, what's your biggest challenge or what's your biggest problem? But what you can also realize is that you can also ask, what are you focusing on right now? And even better, instead of asking an open question, you can do a choice option where you give them 3 things to focus on to get their mind into what you work with. So you framed for them where their mind should go and focus within what you work with. So instead of asking open questions, you ask a more closed question. Once you have that, now your point now is to win trust and have them trust that you are the right person, which means at this point, it's a really good idea to give them some servings. Meaning, you give them 1 to 3 assets, trainings, freebies, whatever you got about that area that they are focusing on or the need they have right now. So they can get a little bit deeper into, oh, this is actually helping me, that the way what you're showing me, and I like how you do it. Great. At this point, now they're open because now they trust you. And once they trust you, now you can start asking and uncover their goal. Hey, what would you like to achieve within this area within the next 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is? Uncover the goal, and once you know the goal, you can qualify them. And qualifying questions could be now or later. Is this something that you want to achieve now, or is this something later? Because someone who's not committed, they'll say, no, I'll do it later. They're not ready yet to move forward. They haven't committed to fix the problem. You can also ask, hey, if I have a solution for you that would help you to get that, would you be open to investing yourself? So would they be willing to spend money? And now you know these things, you qualify this person, you know what they need, you know this is the right person, you know you can help them. Now you give them an offer. The chances of them being interested is like a 200-300% higher now because you took them through this process. So what you did in this process is literally that you took them from ice cold from the beginning, and then you started warming them up, and then you made them hot. So you never gave them an offer until they were burning hot. Don't give offers too early, because what happens is the opposite, that you get into bias resistance. So only give an offer. It's like being a lawyer, right? Only give an offer to someone you know you already get the right response to. This is how you make sure that 80%, 90% of the people you offer a call, they will jump on a call with you because you take them through the right process. Now, if you want the best free DM starters, go down and grab it. And if you want a deeper training into DM setting, go down below and download the full guide.